Hello there, it's me, Free Spirit, and today I'm feeling a little green. I just started picking up some things and noticing that I've been a little more attracted to the color green lately. So, we're going to look at a few green things, a little show and tell, and a lot of tapping. So I'm going to start with a little green tea. I've got some just boiled water here, nice and steamy. This cute little glass teapot. Very warm. So, the green tea that I'm going to use is matcha. It's pretty strong. But at this time in the afternoon, I sometimes like an extra little something, like a cup of coffee. And so sometimes I'll just have a strong tea, a black tea or chai. But this one is very good as well. I love this brand, Reishi. I have at least 3 different Reishi teas. I love their packaging. See what it tells you about this tea. This tea originates from Japan at an elevation of 300 to 450 meters. And it says matcha is made from stone milling a shade-grown green leaf tea called tencha into a fine powder. We designed our own unique blend of tencha cultivars to create the bright green color, fresh sweetness, and creamy mouthfeel of the matcha in our matcha super green. Super green. It says matcha super green is named for its vivid emerald green infusion and bountiful natural energy provided by pure Japanese matcha. The signature Reishi flavor combines organic sencha and organic stone-ground matcha green teas grown in the fertile volcanic soils in southern Japan's Kyushu region. Kyushu. I hope I said it right. And this has a caffeine level of high. High, non-GMO. And you brew it for about 2 minutes. So let's start with that. Here's the little sachet. Taste True Tea. I'm going to brew it in my little tea java. Tea maker. I use this as a thermos sometimes for hot water and for keeping coffee hot as well. I just love this green color. top is plastic here and some rubber on the top piece. And there's a little rubber on the bottom so it doesn't slip around. First part unscrews. And this is how you drink it. Once your tea is ready, there's a little button in there that you push. And it opens up a little sippy hole. You push it again, and it locks it. And then we take this off. You can get out the basket for brewing your tea. Has a little handle. Has a little mesh tea infuser. And I'm going to use this one today because in addition to the tea bag, I'm also going to add some loose tea. I was organizing my tea shelf and I realized I still have this one. I've been coveting it. It's a really good rice tea, brown rice tea. And it reminds me of puffed rice cereal. It's got a nice rice flavor, very mild, but it just adds a little something to the green tea, the sencha matcha. So first I'm going to put the bag inside and hang it. Green, green, green. Green. Heart energy. Also very healing energy. Oops. I pulled the tag off. I'll just have it backwards. Little pyramid of sencha and matcha. I'm just going to hang that here. I have a feeling it's going to drop in the meanwhile, so we'll just let it go. And now I'm going to put some of the rice tea in the infuser. A little piece of duct tape on there. Somehow I poked a hole in the bag. Okay, let's see. I really taped it good. Oh, it smells so good. I'm not going to put too much since I'm mixing it. Okay, I'm just going to drop this down. And now we're going to add the water. Maybe I'll take this cover off. It's like Rice Krispies. Here we go. Nice. Now we'll wait while it brews a little bit. Put this cap back on. I'll just give it a few minutes. And then we can take the infuser out and put it in a little pot. And then give it a taste. So of course Miss Abby has already been here. She was rolling on the table and stretching and touching everything. And just making sure that all the energy was very nice. Her tail was going back and forth. She was hanging on the edge of the table practically, just rolling and flinging her tail all over all these things. So Abby has given her approval to our items today. And it didn't get past her that I had a couple of green crystals here. This one is very, very pale green. It's a fluoride. And it used to have purple at the end. And silly me, I left it in the sunlight and it faded. But it's still green. It's still pretty. Yeah. And I also have a piece of beautiful green calcite. Lots of different shades of green. Again, just the soothing color of green, very grounding, calming, and associated with healing energy. I just love the feeling of it. Very nice. So to add to our green tableau here, and also, I haven't shown you, I got this book. Very, very interesting. I have it as an ebook as well, but I love to have a physical book that I can make notes in or put a little bookmark here and there to look at during the day when I think of something. This is called The Lost Book of Herbal Remedies. It's such a nice book because it's very soft and flexible. And I just love this type of textbook, you might say, that feels less formal. Even the paper weight is very nice. There's a lot of pictures. This book is by Nicole Appelian, PhD. And the reason that I got this book is because I saw her on the TV show Alone, which was on the History Channel. I was binge watching all the Alone episodes because I don't have regular TV. And she was on one of the seasons. Was it the first season? She came back for the reunion one too. Not the reunion, a rematch, you might say, a second chance. And she's a very interesting woman, very, very interesting, because she had a lot of issues, physical issues, that had her to the point of she was not able to take care of herself. She was in a wheelchair full time. She wasn't able to walk, and she self-treated. She did a lot of research and started taking care of herself with natural plant medicine as well as other things. But she basically weaned herself off of all of the other things and was able to be strong enough to even go on this show, when she did a lot of foraging, and she did have very good luck catching some of the salmon in the beginning of the show. She lasted for quite a long time. But the thing was that she ended up having a little bit of a relapse. She suffers from multiple sclerosis. And what you didn't find out with the show, because of editing and drama and all of that, was that all of the contestants, prior to going out, I think this was in Mongolia, she was in the Mongolia episode, they all had to have a slew of vaccinations, all kinds of different things, for the multiple organisms and parasites and everything that they would run into or could possibly run into. And because of the time problem, they had to get all of these things like all at one time. And it just overloaded her system so badly and affected her immune system. So I felt very badly that the first time she was on the show, she did much better. The second time was very hard for her. First time she went home because she missed her kids so badly. It's very hard to imagine being completely alone. So if you haven't watched that show before, check it out. It's really good. So anyway, when I saw the advertisement for this information, I thought, yeah, I saw her in action. I saw her showing the different plants that she recognized and how you could make tinctures and different things. You could use lots of things that are just found in nature. Practical home remedies and all sorts of things. I just love this book. And it's broken down into some interesting categories. So, we have quite a bit of information in here about how to harvest healing power from plants, how to harvest herbs and dry them, how to make powders and teas and decoctions and oil infusions, etc., etc. And it starts with backyard plants with quite a list, and then it goes into forest, scrublands, and woodlands. It goes into trees and shrubs, mushrooms and lichens, water-loving plants, and household remedies. So this is a great green addition to my library. I wanted to show you. Very interesting life. This says Dr. Nicole Appelian is an herbalist, survival skills instructor, anthropologist, and research biologist. Inside these pages, she shares her deep knowledge of plants and her first-hand experiences making her own herbal remedies she uses both at home and in the field. She was among the first women ever selected for the History Channel's TV show Alone. Despite having multiple sclerosis, she survived solo in the remote wilderness for 57 days straight, with little more than her hunting knife and the wild foods and medicines she found there. Really great show. another beautiful green to add to my home items. This is from my sister-in-law. It's called the Celtic Tree Oracle, a system of divination. I love the packaging of this. It's got a nice sturdy box with a pull tab and a tray that comes out. Very heavy duty, nice protection. And inside is a beautiful book, hardcover, and quite green. Celtic Tree Oracle. I like this format. They have the Celtic tree alphabet in the first 2 pages. Very easy to reference which symbol and which tree or bush or shrub that you get. And then the page numbers to refer to. And it has nice, concise information describing the origin of this Celtic alphabet through history. And then each has a page of meaning. And it has the Celtic word and the English translation. So 2 pages for each item. And I'm just beginning to use this. I've only done a few readings, but it's really interesting. Very complex. But you can always do a 1, 2, or 3 card reading as well with any oracle deck. This one comes with a little pad of paper, which is a record-keeping system for your different readings. And you would put down things like your name and the name of the person you did the reading for and the date and what the major concern or question was. And then a list of the different cards that were pulled, so you could refer back to this reading with a few notes underneath as to the short version of the interpretation. And it also comes with a format that you can copy and use as a worksheet, because this one is actually, it's complex, as I said. They do 3 circles. Each circle has 5 cards. Each of the cards represents an element. So there's 5 cards on each circle representing earth, fire, air, water, and ether or spirit. And each circle overlaps because they represent different layers, different dimensions of the question, the problem, or the situation. It can be past, present, and future, or just represent some type of a change in time, or energy, or, as I say, different dimensions. So you could be looking at the physical, the emotional, and the spiritual, something like that. So these are the cards. It's only 25, and they're kind of small, very slippery, very easy to handle. And the way you do the readings, or a full reading anyway, as described in the book, is to lay out all of the cards. So you would do 5 rows of 5 cards, face down, etc. And then you would draw the cards for the first circle. So the person asking the question would randomly turn up one card, and you would make a note on the first circle, position 1, position 2, 3, 4, and 5. And as you turn each card, you note whether it was reversed or upright. Here's what one of them looks like. So this one is apple, and I'm just learning the words. I don't know the pronunciations particularly, but this is also called quart. Quart, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. And it has a little symbol. So you write the symbol down and the 2 names so that you start to remember them. And I would note that it was reversed. And then so on for each of the 5 elements for the first circle. Once you have written down those 5 cards, you return all the cards to the face down position, all 25 still out, and you can move them around a little bit so the same cards are not in the same position. So 25 face down still, and then you draw for the second circle 5 cards for each of the elements. And after you've written those down, that's right, you put the cards back, face down, mix them up somewhat. 5 rows of 5. Draw 5 more cards, making note after each card the order in which they were pulled on the third circle. And then you're ready to begin. Now the funny thing is that many times, as happened to me as well, there's overlap, so you may have the same card more than once. And it may be moving from one element, say it's the mind, the air element, something that's made you anxious. You'll see that by the time you get to the third circle, it has now moved either into the heart, to the emotions, or maybe even into the spirit, so that it means that there's a process going on with that information. It's really kind of fun. And the cards are very simple, very beautiful, and there's quite a few different trees. For example, I'll pull one, and I already pulled my card for this deck. I like to do that with every deck. Spend a little time with it, and then ask which card of this deck represents my relationship to the energy working with this particular oracle. And I won't tell you what I got, but I'll pull one for you. Okay. This is the general information card from this deck for you right now. Okay, ready? I'm going to divide it. Four piles. I'm going to pile them all together. And the card on the bottom is your card. Ready? Reversed. And it is spindle. Spindle. Spindle, 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 spindle. All right, let's check it out. So we look to the front of the book. Spindle. And there is the symbol for it and the short expression is sweetness and delight, sudden intelligence. Page 66. Now remember, this was reversed. Like some of the others, this Ogham card has a double nature, conveyed not only by the spindle tree, but additionally by the element thunder, which is an alternative name for the letter. Together, they give the meanings sweetness, delight, and sudden intelligence. The hard wood of the spindle tree was used in the making of pegs, bobbins, and spindles, hence its common name. And then it goes on to describe the tree a little bit more. And we'll skip ahead to the reversed meaning. If this Ogham card appears reversed, remember that sweetness and delight can come in many ways. They may suddenly appear unbidden and unearned, but more often they can be found only as the result of drawing on your best efforts, which ultimately brings greater fulfillment. If you regard happiness as a right, you will never really achieve it. You do have to make your own happiness. And it's the best when you draw on your own efforts, as I said in my last video. You choose your own happiness. But when you put the effort into it, and then it comes, it does feel like a surprise. It actually worked. So just remember, if there's something there that you're expecting to come out of your work, so just be aware that if you're waiting for something to make you happy, if you're expecting that it's just going to come in for you, you may not see the real source of the happiness, which is your choosing to be happy. And then you'll turn it all around. So that ultimately brings greater fulfillment. Very nice. All right. So that's a good place to start from. It's time to taste the tea. I'm going to carefully take the infuser out. Yeah, it smells very good. I'm going to take this little handle. Perfect. I think the top will fit too. All right. And with most teas, I don't care for sugar. It's talking to me. Normally I would take out the tea bag, but I'm going to try it just like this. Oh man, that's good. That's really good. I think adding the rice tea to the matcha makes it a little bit more flavorful. Very nice. Well then, that's all the green I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to continue drinking my tea. Put these items away. Oh, and I didn't show you also. I've decided I'm going to try to keep track of my readings in this beautiful journal. This this little holographic cover. This is so pretty. This was from Kiki Hermetic Kitten. Sent a gift box to me a while back. And this little journal is so cute. It says, "All I see is magic." So I haven't used it up until now, but I think that doing oracle readings is a way to tap into magic and see the world through different eyes. So I'll be using this lined paper and fine tipped pen, and I'll be drawing 3 circles and marking the cards for each of the 5 positions. Just practice, and then maybe in a few months I'll be looking back and seeing where my readings have led me. And that's all. So I'll leave you with that. I'll be back soon. Time to take a little walk outside, get some fresh air, feed the horses, and get settled down for the evening. I wish you a great night. Thanks for coming by.